It's really bright in my face. And we'll wait a second, see if anybody shows up or not. Who knows? Maybe nobody will. Hello, one person. It's me, Coach Alex, and this is the Parkour and Freerunning lesson number 2. It's Friday, it's 2 o'clock, and this is for Parkour and Freerunning level 1. All right, so we're going to get started. First things first, what we're going to want is a lot of open space here. Welcome to my basement. All right, I have a good amount of room on either side. We're going to do a quick little warm-up. But before we do that, we're going to go over a few things. If your ground is really hard, you might want to grab something like a yoga mat, or I don't know if you happen to have a panel mat or anything like that. But if you have one of those things, it's going to help out just a little bit to keep yourself from getting hurt. When we move forward, a few things we might need is if you have any really big pillows, we could use those for a little bit of extra safety when we get to what we're about to do. All right. Welcome to Metro South Gymnastics online classes. Woo! This is my first class, so bear with me here. All right. First thing we're going to do for a warm-up is we're going to get our heart pumping and our blood flowing. So let's do 15 jumping jacks. Pick up the pace. Let's go faster. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Cool. All right. Next thing that we're going to do, keep ourselves moving. I want you to start jogging in place. Now, one of the things we're going to go over today is our palm spin. All right. And now you're going to have to ask for permission before you go using your couch. But this is my couch, so I can do whatever I want with it. So we're going to be using the couch to learn the palm spin move. Make sure you're still jogging. Let's do Heidi's. We're going to be using the couch to do the palm spin. We'll start really easy on the floor and work our way up to some harder versions. All right? Let's do butt kicks. Now, I know I've taught my palm spins in certain classes, and also Coach Ellie has taught the palm spins before. So if you've done them before, then just start with the easy progressions, and we'll work our way up. If you've never done them before, we're going to start from the very beginning, so it won't be too hard. All right. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to do some mountain climbers. So mountain climbers look like this. You go down on your hands and your feet. You're going to bring one foot up, and then we're going to switch. Boom. Like this. All right. I want you to do 20 or so of these, so go ahead and get started. And when you're doing these, if this is easy for you to just jump back and forth, what we can try is a version where our foot actually never touches the ground. So we're just lifting our leg, and when we get to the top, that foot is just floating in the air. And go back and forth. All right. Once you've done 20 of those, what I want us to do now is we're going to do some frog jumps. When you do the frog jumps, make sure you don't accidentally hit the ceiling. I don't think any of you will have a problem, but I'm in a basement, so it's a little low. For the frog jumps, reaching down, touching the floor, making sure that we're trying to sit down as far as we can. We don't have our butt up in the air like this. Instead, we're down low. You're jumping up and back down into that same position. Let's start with 10 of those, all right? And when you're doing these, make sure you're not just reaching down like this, jumping and reaching down. It should be all the way down, all the way up. And 10. Woo. Very nice. All right, we'll catch our breath. We're going to do a little shoulder rolls. So the palm spin is going to be an arms heavy move. We're going to be using a lot of our strength here. So we're going to make sure our arms and our shoulders are warmed up. So we're going to try to do big circles with our shoulders, moving backwards. Loosen everything up, get those shoulders warmed up, ready to be used. And now big circles forwards. There we go. All right, next, arms go out to the side. Make sure before you do this, you're not going to hit anything. All right, and we're going to do arm circles going forwards, trying to reach full rotation. This one's not about speed. It's about how far you can reach around you in a circle. And going backwards. Same deal. Going around in a circle. Very nice. And then what I want you to try is you're going to put one hand, or both hands out in front. We're going to have one hand go up while the other hand goes down. So that way we have one arm going forwards, one arm going backwards. And then we'll switch sides. We'll try the other way. So one hand goes up, the other hand goes down. And one forwards, one backwards. Very nice. All right, again, quick little double check. You're not going to smack anything or anyone, because if you're like me, you're working in a small space, but we've cleared out a little bit of area. We're going to swing our arms across the front, just like this. Very nice. Now, I don't know what you guys have been up to, but I've been trying to get out into my yard, do a little bit of training, but today there's quite the storm going on, so we're not going out there, so we're stuck in the basement. All right, and then without moving your feet, let's twist. Again, this one is not about speed. We don't want to crank it so hard that we end up hurting ourselves. Instead, you're just trying to look behind you without letting your feet move. Arms are swinging back and forth. Very nice. All right, let's see. What other one should we do? We're going to do one more dynamic active warm-up. This one, what we're going to do is we're going to do our burpees, because again, this is going to be full body. It's going to help get our shoulders, our arms, and our legs warmed up for today's lesson. So for the burpee, again, don't hit anything. Reach up, down to the ground, feet shoot out, feet come forward, back up tall. Go ahead, let's do 10 of those. Now, while you're doing 10 of these, make sure that you're not just going down, out, back, and doing a little baby jump. We want a big jump as high as we can. And then when we go out, feet are together on the way in, big jump. Cool. Done with 10 of those. Very nice. All right, next thing what I want you to do, stand with our feet together. We're going to reach up as high as we can. And then we're going to reach forwards. And when you're reaching forwards, I want you to try to get your back to go as flat as possible. We don't want it to be round like this. And we don't want it to be arched like that. Legs straight, back nice and flat, arms reaching out. And then trying to keep our back as flat as possible, reaching down towards the floor. When our back starts to curl over too much, we're not stretching the same stuff. So try to keep it straight. Reach down as far as you can. See if you can touch your toes. If you can touch your toes, touch the floor. When you touch the floor, put your hands on the ground. And if you've been in one of my classes, you know what comes next. If you can touch your hands flat to the ground, you can go home. Joke's on you, you're already at home. All right, guess you're stuck here. Stand in a big straddle. Again, we're going to reach up, taking both arms down to one side. Making sure our legs stay nice and straight. And again, we're going to try our best to keep our back from curling too much. Instead, keep it nice and straight. Think about opening your shoulders. So remember when we did our rolls like this? So this is a closed shoulder position. And then on the back is the open shoulder position. So we're going to try to keep our shoulders open, and that helps us keep our back straight. As soon as my shoulders close, my back rounds. So straight shoulders, or open shoulders, straight back, reaching towards the foot, reach across to the other side. Now, we're going to reach down the middle. Again, try to keep your back nice and straight. reaching down. See if you can at first touch the floor. If you can touch the floor, reach right on the imaginary line between your feet. And if you can reach that line, I want you to try to reach behind you. All right. Come on up. Next stretch we will do is our letter E stretch. So what that looks like, standing straight, put one leg out, arm reaches out. I guess if I go the other way first. If you look here at my back leg, this front leg, and my arm, we're making the letter E, capital letter E, facing the ground. We're actually going to reach and close it in to make a lowercase e. And we're going to try to pull our toes, stretching the back of our calf muscle here. All right, this leg can bend if it needs to get a deeper stretch. And switch legs. So again, this leg is bent, this leg is straight, grabbing on my toes, making a letter E with my arms and my legs. Cool. All right. The next stretch we're going to do is we're not going to go to the ground just yet. We're going to stay on our feet, but we're going to go into our squat. Now, the squat is probably the most useful tool to you while you're here at home when you're stuck. We're going to keep our feet flat on the ground, put them about shoulder width apart. We're just going to sit down, trying to touch our butt to our heels or the floor, keeping our feet flat. And again, trying to keep our chest up so we're not hunched over here, just up like this. And while we're here, I want you to just give yourself a little rock back and forth, rock forwards and back. And now, why this is so important is that this is a strength and flexibility, mobility workout, all right? You may not feel it just yet, but if you stayed here long enough, you start to feel it in your shins, in your calves, in your ankles, eventually up into your butt and into your back, because your muscles are working overtime to keep yourself balanced, all right? If you're having trouble and you keep falling over backwards, what I want you to do, find something nice and solid, put your back up against it, and just hold that position there. Give yourself a little bit of a rock. All right? Now, while you're stuck at home, this is a great position to read a magazine or a book, maybe do some homework, watch some TV, maybe even, I don't know, play some video games, right? It's all about trying to do the things that you have to do or you want to do while still maintaining your strength, your flexibility, and your mobility. Cool. All right, take a seat on the ground. We're going to start with one leg out front. The other leg bends in here. And what we're going to work on is just keeping this leg straight, reaching down as far as we can. And you guessed it, our back is going to try to stay straight. See if you can reach, touch your feet. If you can touch your feet, try to reach around the sides. We don't want to grab our toes yet. That's a different stretch. Instead, reach around the side. Nice. Now we can grab our toes. And if you have a bend in your knee like this, I want you to sit back up, straighten it out, and just reach as far as you can. And you could even try to get your toes to come to your hand. All right. Take that leg, put it over the top, roll out your ankles. Foot of the ground, hug your knee. All right, switch sides. Put one foot in, reaching out. Again, leg stays straight. We're trying to grab around the side of our foot, not the toes. We're not doing that stretch yet. And now, grab onto those toes. And again, if you can't reach your toes, just try to get your toes to go to your feet, your hands like this. Don't let the knee bend. All right, roll out your ankle. And foot on the ground, hug your knee. Nicely done. Now, moving on to our butterfly stretch. In the butterfly stretch, we're going to try to bring our feet in close, Have our knees apart. We're trying to get our knees to get as close to the ground as they can. But for this purpose, we can just do a little flap of our wings. Help warm up our hips. Cool. All right. Now, it's about time we get started with our skill of the day, which is going to be our palm spins. So, take a moment, grab some water. If you're like me, you got a chalice that Coach Ellie gave you for Christmas. If you're not like me, you probably got a water bottle or a glass of water or something like that. So for the palm spin, we are going to be using a couch. So parents, if you're listening, let your kids use the couch. Come on. It's not every day that we have to be stuck inside. Well, for now it is, but it's not every day we're doing parkour inside. So let them get this one, all right? Couch is very useful because it's a big, strong, sturdy object. It's also soft. Well, most couches are soft, so it's safe. All right. Before we use the couch, though, we're going to go over a few little drills on the floor to get ourselves prepped for a palm flip. I mean, not palm flip. That's too hard. Palm spin. When we do the palm spin, it's going to be very similar to a cartwheel. So if you're not familiar with a cartwheel, that's okay, because we don't need to do a real cartwheel. Progression number 1, something I like to call a wagon wheel. You go down into your squat. You get little bent arms like a T-Rex. And you're just going to reach your hands to the side, just like you were about to do a cartwheel. But instead, we're down low. Our hands go to the side, and our feet are going to jump up and over. And we end in another little squat. I'll do it facing this direction so you can see it again. Now, what's important is if you were tuning into Ellie's class, she went over Kongs. She probably did some side Kongs. Boom, side Kong. Our feet stay low. For this baby little cartwheel, our feet are going high. Okay? It's not too bad. Try it a couple times on both sides. You should look like a crab. All right? Let's see. Good. All right. So, once we're comfortable with that little bit of cartwheel, if you need a little extra practice, go ahead and pause this. Come back once you've got it. But the idea is that our weight is shifting onto our hands. Our feet are going up into the sky and coming back down. Bent arms and bent legs is okay because we're not trying a cartwheel, we're doing a wagon wheel, and it's meant to help us with our palm spin. Now, the next step, if you think you've got that down, is just to get familiar with being upside down on our hands and our feet being up high. Again, you're going to practice a little baby handstand before the palm spin. Hands go on the floor like this. Feet go on the couch. Once our feet are on the couch, what I want you to practice is holding yourself up with one hand and then switching your weight to the other hand. Woo. Okay? If this is easy for you, stick your butt up higher and try the same thing. Now, the reason why we're practicing this is because for our palm spin, we're going to end it using only one hand. So, if we can't support our weight on one hand, this is going to be a little bit harder, but I think you guys will be able to do it. That's why we're practicing there. If you're finding that it is really difficult for you, again, practice this in between homework or schoolwork, whatever it is you have to do, reading a book. If you're watching TV, do it in between the commercials. If you're watching YouTube, every time an ad pops up, do one of these guys. You'll get way stronger. All right? So, if we want to just bump up our baby cartwheel to the next level to get ourselves really ready for these palm spins, all you're going to use is one hand this time. So now as I reach down, my closest hand to the floor, so if I'm going this way, that would be to my right. My right hand is closer. That's the hand I'm going to use. My left hand is going to go away. All right. So, same little baby cartwheel, just with one hand this time. All right? You can try going on both sides. So now I'm going towards my left. One-handed little baby cartwheel to my left. Very nice. Good job. You're doing great. So before we start our our palm spin, you need a little drink of water. Go ahead and do that because we're about to get into it. Palm spin. This is where our couch comes into play. We're going to do our little baby cartwheel. Now, if I'm going to my right, I'm going to stand with the couch in front of me, and I'm going to have it on my right. I'm going to put one hand down on the floor. It's my right hand. It's just like what I did for my one-handed cartwheel, but it's not as hard as that because I get to put my left hand on the edge of the couch here. All right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the first step. Step number 1 is going from the floor in our squat, hand on the floor, hand on the couch, jumping up and landing up on top of the couch. So, boom, I'm on the couch. I'm holding myself up with one hand, my other hand goes down. When you do this, your hand that goes on the couch is going to be trying to pull yourself up and over the top. The hand that's on the ground is just pushing as strong as you can. This is where, if you have it, you want to get your mat or your pillow, stick it down on the floor, just in case you do end up falling on your side, you don't get hurt. All right? I'm going to put my hand on the floor. I have my pillow here for safety, and I'm going to flip myself up onto the couch. Once I'm up on the couch, I'm going to keep going in the same direction down to the floor. So if I go faster, it looks like this. Okay?
Hi.
So I've done my 2-step palm spin. 1, 2. First step, gone up. Second step, gone back down. If I want to upgrade this, make it a little bit better, we're taking away the middle step, which is feet on the couch. Instead of putting our feet on the couch, what you're going to do is you're going to try to swing your feet all the way over the couch, back down onto the floor. So, let's see if I get this right. Hand goes on the floor, hand goes on the couch. All right? Spinning over, back down. Now, I'm going to go on my other side so that you can see it. So we have 2 sides, right? I got a right hand and I got a left hand. I'm going to try to practice both. Watch what happens with my left hand. I want you to notice something. As soon as it touches the ground, it actually never has to leave the ground. And that's probably the safest way to practice this. So my left hand is on the ground. You can see it right here. When I spin all the way around, my left hand was still on the ground. As you get better at it, we can try standing up at the end. So it looks more like this. All right, so there's our finished palm spin. I want you guys to practice that a lot of times until it feels really comfortable. This is something that you can practice on any type of couch. The lower the cushion is, right, closer to the ground this is, the easier it's going to be. If it gets a little bit higher, like if you were to use this edge, it's going to be a lot harder, all right? Now, there are more advanced versions of this palm spin. Eventually, it turns into a wall spin where you do it up against a flat wall, but we're not going to get into that just yet, all right? So for now, what I want you guys to do is practice our palm spin. One hand goes on the floor, one hand goes on the couch, and we're flipping ourselves around, all right? This should feel a little bit like a flip. It's most similar to our side flip, all right? But it's also very close to the cartwheel. So if you want to practice those a little bit more, go ahead, pause this video and get to it. If you feel like you've done enough, which you probably haven't, you can keep watching this video and we're going to do a little bit of conditioning. I will give you out the conditioning. We'll demonstrate a few of them, but then it's up to you guys to make sure that you finish it, all right? And my rule with conditioning is if you're going to cheat, you're going to cut it short, that's not my problem. I'm not the one that's doing it, right? That's your problem because you're the one that's not going to get any stronger, all right? So keep this in mind, that the harder you work, the better you're going to get at it, All right? I can't be at home. I can't see you doing it. I can't watch you do all your conditioning count for you. So you got to do it yourself. So be strong and stick with it. The conditioning for today, we're going to supplement our palm spins. We're going to do, first things first, is we're going to do some push-ups. Now, when I do push-ups, what I want to make sure is that my hands are going to be shoulder width apart. Out here, I'm not going out really wide like this. Keep them in shoulder width. And then when I push down, my elbows are going to try to stay in nice and close, like this, not out really wide like this. This is how you look like an alligator or a lizard. This is how you do push-ups. All right. If you need to use your knees on the ground, that's perfectly fine. Pushing up, pushing down, or knees off the ground, pushing up, pushing down, pushing back up. If that's still kind of hard for you, let's use that same couch. Hands go up, pushing your chest down, and back up. Make sure when you do this, you don't let your hips drop low or your butt stick high. It's all about that straight position. I want everybody to do one set of 10 push-ups. We do 10 in a row, trying not to rest. If you need to rest, you can. If you need to make it easier, you can make it easier. If you think, and then once you get through one set of 10, I want you to do one more set where you just do as many push-ups in a row as you can without stopping, and be true to yourself, all right? So if you fall or if you stop, just stop right there and call it at that. Because we're going to keep that in mind in every class. I want you to do the same thing. So you're going to do as many push-ups in a row as you can, and we're going to see after how many times how high we can get that number. So if you get 3 without stopping this time, maybe next time you'll get 4. If you practice this every day, next time you see me, you might get 10 in a row. Who knows? Maybe even 15. 10, 5, right? What about 100? I don't know. I can't do that. So push-ups. That's number 1. Conditioning number 2. More of those frog jumps. We did a lot of arms today. We want to equal out on our legs. Reaching down to the floor, jumping all the way up. All right? I want you to do 20 frog jumps. After you do your 20 frog jumps, you're going to come over here, back to our couch. We're going to practice our handstand hold to get our arms moving again. So on this handstand hold, our hips are up high. It's the opposite of a push-up. Our arms are up above our head. All right? I want you to see how long you can hold this. Try to go for 20 seconds. If you can do 20, go for 30. If you can do 30, go for a minute. If you can do a minute, I want you to film it and send it to us because that'd be awesome. All right? If you want to, you can add shoulder touches into this. It's when you're in your handstand, reach up, boom, boom, boom. I know for a fact that some of you guys can do that. All right? So, thank you for tuning in to today's Parkour 1 live stream lesson. I hope it was informational and I hope it helped. Hope you guys are staying safe. And I hope you're staying at home and working hard. Don't drive your parents crazy. Parents, don't drive your kids crazy. And until next time. Oh, be sure to film some of your palm spins and send it to us. It should be on our website on how to do that. All right. And then what I can do is I can watch those videos. I can give you guys some extra pointers. All right. Have a good day.